Welcome to 1189, an online Bible commentary. My name is Tyler Marston, and today we're taking a look at Numbers chapter 1. The book of Numbers is the fourth book in the Bible, and it tells the stories of the Israelites' journeys in the wilderness before coming into the Promised Land. And the first 5 books of the Bible are called the Torah, which is a Hebrew word meaning law. That means, like Genesis, Exodus, and Leviticus, Numbers will continue to reveal God's character through giving the terms of his covenant agreement with the Israelites. Numbers especially is a blend of genres. There's narrative, there's covenant law agreements, and there's historical records. But it uses these different genres in order to tell a story. It's the story of the blessings that come with following God and the consequences that come from not trusting him. But with all that said, let's get into chapter 1. Then the Lord spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, in the tent of meeting, on the first of the second month, in the second year after they had come out of the land of Egypt, saying, So some time has passed since the Israelites have been freed from their slavery in Egypt, and they're still camping and dwelling in the wilderness of Sinai. That was where God gave Moses the law of the covenant. It's where he instructed them to build and to consecrate the tabernacle, the holy tent that God would live in. Now remember back in Exodus 40 that Moses was not allowed to enter into the tabernacle. And when you flip the page to Leviticus 1, you saw that God was talking to Moses from the tabernacle. Now notice the difference in Numbers 1:1. God is speaking to Moses in the tent. It shows the importance of all of those laws and commands about cleanliness in the book of Leviticus. Because Moses is obeying all these calls towards holiness, physical holiness, moral holiness, spiritual holiness. Because he's doing that, he's able to meet with God inside the tabernacle without being killed instantly. Remember, that was the case with Aaron's sons in Leviticus 10. And it's an important reminder right out of the gate that everything that happens subsequently will depend on the Israelites being faithful to the covenant agreement. And as we will see, when they are unfaithful, there are consequences. Take a census of all the congregation of the sons of Israel, by their families, by their fathers' households, according to the number of names, every male, head by head, from 20 years old and upward, whoever is able to go out to war in Israel. You and Aaron shall number them by their armies. God commands Moses and Aaron to take a census of the people, literally to count their heads. And it's why this book is called Numbers, because it begins with a record of the numbers of all the different tribes of Israel's fighting men. Now notice that the only people that are numbered in the census are men who are older than 20 years old and have no conditions that keep them from fighting. We take censuses for all kinds of things today, whether it's tax purposes or demographic statistics. But in ancient times, the most common reason you would take a census is because you were about to go to war. And so you had to count everyone to know how big your army was. Now we know that this is true for the Israelites. Leviticus 26 talked about them being called to possess the land of Canaan, the land of their inheritance from Abraham. And I think what this shows is that God's presence being with us does not exempt us from strategizing and planning on how best to accomplish his kingdom work. The Israelites still need to absolutely put all of their trust in God. But that doesn't mean that they can just throw caution to the wind and end up getting everyone killed. With you, moreover, there shall be a man of each tribe, each one head of his father's household. These then are the names of the men who shall stand with you. Of Reuben, Eliezer the son of Shadur. Of Simeon, Shelumiel the son of Zurishaddai. Of Judah, Nashon the son of Amminadab. Of Issachar, Nathanael the son of Zuar. Of Zebulun, Eliab the son of Helon. Of the sons of Joseph, of Ephraim, Elishama the son of Ammihud. Of Manasseh, Gamaliel the son of Pedazur. Of Benjamin, Abidan the son of Gideoni. Of Dan, Ahiezer the son of Ammishaddai. Of Asher, Pagiel the son of Ochran. Of Gad, Eliasaph the son of Duel. Of Naphtali, Ahira the son of Enan. These are they who were called of the congregation, the leaders of their fathers' tribes. They were the heads of divisions of Israel. The first step in taking this big census is that each tribe is assigned a leader, and they will kind of serve as generals of each family. They will lead their people both in battle and in everyday trials that come about. Remember Jethro's advice to Moses in Exodus 18. Moses and Aaron cannot lead these hundreds of thousands of people by themselves. They're going to need to delegate and entrust others to lead each section of these people. The people will report to the head of their tribe, and the heads will report to Moses. All the while, Moses is reporting to God. That is the only way everyone can be on the same page, and the only way to make sure that that same page is God's. So Moses and Aaron took these men who had been designated by name, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first of the second month. Then they registered by ancestry in their families, by their fathers' households, according to the number of names from 20 years old and upward, head by head, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. So he numbered them in the wilderness of Sinai. Moses and Aaron get to work, numbering all the people who are able to fight. And verses 20 through 46 report on the results of that census. It breaks down all the people into their tribes. Each tribe ends up with an average of about 40,000 to 60,000 fighting men. And remember, since it's just men who are 20 years and older, each one of them would represent a household family. The largest tribe by far is the tribe of Judah, with 74,600 fighting men. And the smallest is Manasseh, with 32,200. In all, we see that the total number of Israel's fighting forces comes to 603,550. But one important thing to notice, they're doing all this still in the wilderness of Sinai. They have a long way to go before they reach the promised land. And you wonder what kind of things are going to happen to them on the way. The Levites, however, were not numbered among them by their father's tribe. For the Lord had spoken to Moses, saying, "Only the tribe of Levi you shall not number, nor shall you take their census among the sons of Israel. But you shall appoint the Levites over the tabernacle of the testimony, and over all its furnishings, and over all that belongs to it. They shall carry the tabernacle and all its furnishings, and they shall take care of it. They shall also camp around the tabernacle. So when the tabernacle is to set out, the Levites shall take it down. And when the tabernacle encamps, the Levites shall set it up. But the layman who comes near shall be put to death. The sons of Israel shall camp, each man by his own camp, and each man by his own standard, according to their armies. But the Levites shall camp around the tabernacle of the testimony, so that there will be no wrath on the congregation of the sons of Israel. So the Levites shall keep charge of the tabernacle of the testimony. Thus the sons of Israel did, according to all which the Lord had commanded Moses, so they did." If you go back through the census data, there's one tribe that's missing. The Levites are exempt from fighting. They're charged instead with caring for the tabernacle, which is what the book of Leviticus was all about. Now, if you remember all those rules from Leviticus about how touching dead bodies made you unclean and unfit to go near the tabernacle, it makes sense. If you have been charged with the responsibility to carry these holy objects from one place to another, it would be sacrilegious to do so after causing the death of another person. God also instructs the Levites to make their camps around the tabernacle. And in effect, this buffers the holiness of the tabernacle from the rest of Israel. That's an image that the book of Leviticus played with a lot. In order to be respected as holy, God's presence and his holy tent had to be separated from the broken, sinful, unclean world. Of course, we say that knowing that when Jesus came, he healed people who had unclean diseases. He didn't separate himself at all. The uncleanness wasn't contagious, it was his holiness that was contagious onto them. He died and raised to life, splitting the veil that was in the temple, allowing God's presence to cleanse, transform, and indwell in each one of us that follows him. And he saved us so that we might be counted in the census of his kingdom. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to war against any other people, but we are appointed to battle against the powers of wickedness and temptation in the world. And, as Moses and Aaron were, we need to be strategic in how we do it and which leaders we follow while doing it, all the while ultimately following God, listening to his Holy Spirit that's speaking to us in our hearts. Thanks for watching 1189. I hope you have a good day, and God bless.